July 8th. White Mantle clash with rebels, royalists at Lion's Arch. By Morrow. White Mantle troops, bolstered by their inhuman floating constructs and the foul favour of their unseen gods, march on the capital. A coalition of allies have joined in the defence of Princess Salma and all three Krytans, the Shining Blade, the Eben Vanguard, Lion Guard and numerous volunteer adventurers. The trumpets sound, the field of battle is set. Today brings victory or death for the rebel cause. Oh, well, there we go. As soon as he died, we got another thing. Confessor Isaiah. He says, "People of Lion's Arch, hear me." I love what he says here. "Unlike the old gods who have abandoned you, our gods are with us here today to ensure our victory. Surrender now or face your doom." Last episode, I talked a little bit about how I feel like they kind of missed a trick here because they didn't really go into the motivations of those Krytans who did choose to join the White Mantle. And this is the big thing here, really. This is kind of, I suppose, what's at the core of the Warring Kryta. The human gods have left and abandoned the humans. They've gone, and you can understand that, and I do still feel like they missed a trick because that little bit of dialogue's really all we get on it. But you can understand, I can see why you'd want to join the White Mantle. Especially, even with the brainwashing aside, that's going to play into it a bit. But even if you just look at it, it's a question of what gods do you follow. The Messiah aren't necessarily, well, no, I suppose it does get more complicated than that because as the Warring Kryta, they do exaggerate on the different things that the White Mantle have been doing to oppress Kryta and stuff, and I suppose there are different problems there, but one of the key things is obviously, oh hey, yeah, the White Mantle, they just are giving you gods where your gods have left, and I can see people's motivations for that. And so what Confessor Isaiah that says there is really cool. I like it. And of course this is him here, we're smashing into here. This is the same think back to Thunderhead Keep, you've got Confessor Dorian. We finally killed the leader of the White Mantle, and indeed we are about to, why has he got so much health? There we go, we interrupted Troll Unguent. Come on, die, Isaiah. He's not particularly dangerous, as you can see. Indeed, we are about to do it again. There you go, that is it. Confessor Isaiah is down and out. I do think he's got a unique skill called Isaiah's Balance, which I haven't talked about in the Warring Kryta yet. Isaiah's Balance is this really cool skill. Confessor Isaiah is named after Isaiah Cartwright, one of the main, or more forward, should we say, developers for Guild Wars 1, where it came to skill balance. He was like the balancing guy. And he did some he was generally, I think, a pretty good skill balancer. He had a lot to work with. The Guild Wars 1 system was pretty messed up, pretty hard to actually ensure decent balance around the board. But there was one particularly famous incident that happened where he balanced a skill called Smiter's Boon, which was seeing a lot of prevalence in PvP, so it needed to be nerfed, right? But instead of just sort of nerfing the energy cost, I think it originally had like a 5 energy cost, but he put the energy cost up to 25 energy, which if you play the game, that's pretty much unusable at that point. However, there's a Mesmer skill that can change that so that you actually get a load of energy out of it instead. So he was like, alright, well, we can't have that. So he also nerfed the recharge of the skill to a ridiculous amount of time, to a whole minute cooldown, which is pretty damn high for a hell of a lot of Guild Wars 1 skills. With a 25 energy cost and a minute cooldown, that's pretty nuts. And then even that wasn't enough though, because cooldown could be mitigated in various ways. So they also increase the cast time and reduce its duration to a ridiculously low number. It was like the duration was just unfathomably low. So the Smiter's Boon just became famous because it was a really over the top nerf, or it seemed over the top, like it was just ridiculous. So basically what they did, because Confessor Isaiah is a character named after Isaiah Cartwright, they gave Confessor Isaiah a skill called Isaiah's Balance, which basically, I think it hexes you, and then it changes whatever skill. See there, that I died there again because I'm overextending. But it hexes you, and then what it does is the next skill you cast will have all of those effects applied to it that Smiter's Boon had applied to it, which I think is really, really awesome and very, very fun. So he did have that skill. We didn't manage to see him use it though. But yeah, so he's dead. And yes, you guys will have seen, and I didn't talk about it yet, but look at all the enemies here. This isn't good. We need to start fighting. Well, he died, and Blim and Zin started speaking and getting our blood pumping. Oh, what's this exciting thing they've got? Blim says now, and Zin says no, not yet. Blim says, how about now? No, we must wait for maximum impact. We can only do this once, and I have no idea how long it will last. Blim says, could have been the whole golem. Never have enough time. Waste of core energies. The client demanded adaptability, and the client got it, says Zin. So there they are. They're scheming with their tool, their thing that they're sort of... Did I bring no death penalty removal? I thought I did. There's something else I've forgotten. We could fail this then if I didn't bring any death penalty removal. I do have a green rock candy. I've got some weird stuff. I could eat those, I guess. But yeah, oh, we didn't have Charlie out either. So we'll get Charlie out for this final fight. So there you go. There's an example. I wiped. Honestly, I expected to wipe. I thought it would have been a massive fluke if I didn't wipe. And what happens is they push forward. What's quite cool here is actually this staircase is an amazing choke point. One of the top tips really for this is to bring some kind of a tank to hold them off here. I'm not saying that I'm a tank right now, really, that if they turn on me, they'll just knock me out. But this is a great place for balling people up if it's to AoE them out. Particularly with me, with Earthshaker, we can just take away a hell of a lot of their damage, which is awesome. You can see a boss here in this wave called the Perfected Armor. Perfected Armor actually is a boss we've seen before, way back in the Southern Shiver Peaks, right in the middle of the massive fight in Guild Wars Prophecies. The Perfected Armor, there was another Perfected Construct as well, which we'll be seeing as we go through, also was there, and you could kill them, and obviously the Messiah have sort of rebuilt them and got them working again. They are quite dangerous. The Perfected Waves is what I call them, where you get these bosses that are supposedly these Perfected Constructs. Those are the really difficult waves. A lot of people end up failing. I'm going to die. Shit. I just wanted to get... Look, we need to Earthshake there. Come on. If I can Earthshake there. Yes, Gwen got panic off. Brilliant. If we can just Earthshake here, we'll be okay. So this is one of the harder waves. Generally, I think... I wouldn't say it's the hardest wave. Oh, we got the Earthshaker off just in time. Look at all that damage. Oh my god, this isn't good. We need to start targeting these priests because these guys have got a lot of defense. What was I saying? Yeah, I wouldn't say this is the hardest wave. I think the final wave's pretty hard as well. But if you do get through these ones here, I would say you're pretty much golden. You're gonna be. You got a pretty damn good chance of actually completing the thing. See, I don't think I've ever completed this without wiping at one point, and I think it's always been on this wave. The only time I failed this, and I failed it a few times when it first came out, but the only times I ever failed this was when they pushed back past the courtyard. I tend to sort of see that as if they're at the courtyard, that's kind of that's the end zone. If they're there, if they've got that far, then you're pretty much screwed by that point. You're not going to do... Did that take off my cons? Oh, that sucks. I forgot that they do that. Look how low my energy is now at this point. But there we go. That's that wave defeated. I think it's that wave defeated. It should be that wave defeated. Some more going to come. If we put... Yeah, here we go. So here's the next load. I'm going to obviously flag out here. We still got some archers on the bluffs. I think maybe even just start fighting over here at the old staircase now. Obviously, our allies over there will start respawning. But there's not much you can do about them. I wouldn't risk trying to save them. It's not really going to help you that much. But yeah, okay, so we'll keep them down here. And here we can see actually there's another Massart boss here. Each wave comes with its own boss here. This is why there's so many skills that you can capture, so much stuff like that. Oh shit, they just teleported up. You bastards. Shadow stepped up. But yeah, so you got these ones. I don't think a lot of the bosses are really particularly dangerous or important. Really, it's just the perfected cloaks and stuff. See, what's cool here, I think, is we've just killed the leader of the White Mantle, and that's kind of difficult to sink in the middle of a huge fight. But the leader's dead. Like, it's not in human hands anymore. It's not in human hands. Or if you know, that's an interesting thought as well. Whether Isaiah was really ever a leader, or whether the Massart were just kind of using him as a bit of a puppet, much like they did with Saul. And really, it's always kind of been the Massart that were making the calls, and whether it really that means anything to them now that their sort of front man's gone. What do they care? I mean, they can always just get another front man. But now, from here on, I think it's pretty much just Massart and Massart constructs that you're going to be fine as you go through. As evidence here, well, no, there's a few humans here. See, I'd be shitting myself at this point. I don't know how I'd feel if I was one of those White Mantle if I was one of those Krytans as a part of the White Mantle there. Sorry, Melathoron, you're basically dead there, buddy. All right, here we go. This is the ultimate, the massive thing, the whole plot of Zin and Blim finally coming to its epic conclusion right here. Everything we did, getting them at the trial, all that stuff with Zin's quest, all of that, it all comes to a head here. This is how it all ends. Zin says, now! Bartholo, send in your warriors. Blim, now! Now, says Blim, but you said, yes, and now is the time. Activate the core, you imbecile. What have they done? What have they done? What have they done? Well, you might have noticed, just as I started my little speech, a weird little 2-second animation appeared on us. Oh, really? Did you guys see that? Well, maybe you did. And if you look at our effects now, in among all the effects, we have an effect called spectral infusion. Skill for an undetermined time. I don't know why it's undetermined, because you can just look at the bar to see how long it's going to last. But for an undetermined time, you are protected from most of the effects of the Massart's vilest magic, reflecting some of its damage back on any Massart Jade construct in range. What does that mean? It means we are infused. Yay, like we weren't already infused. This is one of the big reasons why I was thinking to myself, should I get infused for Warring Kryta or should I wait? Because then this would actually add significance to this pathetic skill that you get at the end. That's all they do. That's it. That's the end of the game for Zin and Blim, really. They don't do or contribute anything else. They give us an infusion that means nothing to our heroes because they come automatically infused. And granted, yeah, I was talking at the start about how, you know, they made it was hard and there were a lot of chances for pugging it, so I guess it was a little bit more useful there. But it reflects back the damage. That could be more potent than I think it is, but I've never seen some of these constructs or some Messart sort of suffering from degen like infusion would get, like if they just had spectral agony cast on them. It's definitely not like that. I get the impression that it's you just reflect back the minor degen that spectral agony would give you if you were already infused, and that's about it. Like, I don't know, it just seems naff. It's a shame. I warned you guys. I'm not that butthurt about it. A lot of people were really upset about it, but it does seem like a pretty decent example of much ado about nothing, really, for that. But anyway, okay, so here we get the perfected cloak. Spectral infusion is still on us, of course, which means his attacks aren't going to be doing any dangerous spectral agony damage to us, which doesn't matter anyway. But we'll take him out. We've already killed most of his cronies, as it would seem. Oh, no, he managed to block my Earthshaker. Brilliant. The Perfected Cloak, there is another Perfected thing. The Perfected Cloak was the other one we fought way back in the Southern Shiver Peaks. And it was okay. I think they were both in the same mission. I don't think these guys have got any different skills here. They're pretty much the same for all intents and purposes. But there is another perfected one. I think it's in the next wave that we'll see. There is another perfected one. And you know how they added a new variety of Messart constructs in Warring Kryta? It's a perfected version of one of those, which is quite cool. And I think that one does a lot of damage because it's an elementalist. But we'll see. Come on, down you go, buddy. As you can see, actually, lots of items as well. If you're playing along with me... Oh, shit. When did these guys appear behind us? If you're playing along with me, one thing to bear in mind with all these items going on around here is the fight will probably take more than 10 minutes, as you might guess. 10 minutes is the amount of time it takes. If something drops for you, if you play the game, if something drops for you and you don't pick it up, and then you finish the mission, or you zone out or go to an outpost, you'll see a little window pops up and it says these were your unclaimed items. Those will appear in the box for as long as the items that were dropped in the explorable area are still like dedicated to you, but as you see how it's assigned to Peter Redhill there, but that expires after 10 minutes, so you're not going to have like complete immunity to that. So if you want your items, make sure you pick up as you go through the fight, which is a bit weird because obviously you're in this big intense fight that could be really difficult. I've just lagged out in the middle for Battle of Lion's Arch. I've lagged out. Why have I lagged out? I fixed my internet. Shit. Oh. Okay, we've just lagged back in, I think. I still can't activate any skills. Oh no, this isn't good, guys. I'm going to have to cut it until something good happens. Okay, alright, I think we're back in. Alright, that was just a minor lag spike. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. We're coming up near the end here. We've got another guy here. We've got two. Oh yeah, actually another one of the construct bosses. Oh no, I've skipped forward a little bit. This is Cain the Malignant. Cain is a boss. If you actually have a look, as you go through the game, there's a lot of Messart constructs called Cain. They're all like Cain the this, Cain the that. I don't know why a lot of them are called Cain. It's kind of interesting, I suppose. But there's another one here. We did already fight one actually in the Warring Kryta when we were at Shaymore, or at least on our way to Shaymore. It was him we killed for the key to get in. So I don't know what's going on there, but that is another Cain that we fight here. And in fact, there's another one over there, a Messart boss this time called Ozzy's the Miserable. I actually like how this boss, and at least the Cain bosses, follow the same naming conventions that the Messart follow, which is sort of they have a name and then they have a title as well, which is kind of cool. I don't know what that means really, whether maybe... See, I like the idea of the constructs being similar to the Kurziks in the, like, their juggernauts, in that it's the Messart sort of transform themselves into the constructs. That would be cool. But I don't know what it feels like. I don't think that the Messart would want to do something like that. They're not the kind of race that would sacrifice themselves to something like that. They deem themselves too important, and they'd be like, no, we're gonna do our own thing. I'm fighting this guy. This Jade Cloak, I think, is actually a healer, so we should probably kill him. But the boss is so close to dying. Thing is, these cloaks have just got so much defense. It's not even funny. Just keep killing them. Are the spirits in range? Yeah, that's the other problem. The spirits aren't, like our SOS isn't doing any damage, which is the main thing. Most of my damage is coming from spirits, really, to tell you the truth. There we go. That's him down. Hopefully killing him doesn't trigger another huge wave that comes in to screw us over. If you're really struggling, but you feel like you kind of have a chance, maybe if your death penalty is super high. You've seen I've died quite a few times, but it's going down quite quickly, obviously because you're only a 6-man party, and so you get more experience, so death penalty goes down quicker. But if you are struggling, and you might have a lot of death penalty, or you might be on your last legs, what might be a nice idea is like a situation here. This guy can't do any damage to me. He's not doing anything. So what you could do is just keep flagging your guys so that they don't kill him or set everyone to away. And that will actually give all of your allies a chance to respawn. So you'll sort of respawn with all your archers up on the bluffs and all that kind of stuff. I don't know whether it's only the named... No, it's not only the named NPCs. They do literally all come back up. So you could do that so that then when the next wave comes, you've got sort of that extra bit of time to have them worn away a little bit as they get to the stairs and hopefully do some damage there. But there you go, that's the next wave down. I'm going to press L because I've been meaning to for a while. You got all these different objectives appear in your quest log as you go through the battle. It's a bit stupid really because you're not going to have a chance to look in your quest log as you go through the battle, but still, you can see here one of our objectives was kill the High Inquisitor Torimo, Isaiah, kill Lucian the Spectral, kill Oziels the Miserable, and finally we've got defend Lion's Arch, which hasn't been completed, and defend Salma. Literally the only way to fail this, you can all be, unless you're in hard mode obviously, you can all be at 60% death penalty and just keep going. It doesn't matter. It's only if Salma dies is the problem. Unless, of course, as I just said, you're in hard mode. It's quite funny. I remember people doing this in hard mode when it first came out. It was hard enough in normal mode. And I do remember on the forums people talking about like challenging each other to complete it in hard mode. I'm going to pop a couple more cons like my eggs and get my movement speed back up and stuff like that. So yeah, quite cool. I don't know why you'd want to do it in hard mode unless you just want to challenge yourself. And hell, I know about challenging myself in this game if anyone does. So it could be quite fun, I guess. I've never tried it. I doubt I ever will try it. But yeah, there is that to consider if you really want. But look at all this AoE that with damage that we're taking. It's ridiculous. That's because of all these Jade Cloaks. Look at this. So we need to start earth shaking these guys. Thing is, I'm being blinded as well, which isn't ideal. Can I please start hitting someone? Auto attack, please. There we go. Knock them all down. Can these guys actually be knocked down, or do they just... They can, but they don't have an animation. See, this is where Earthshaker's good, because you can get in there and do the AoE damage to get Whirlwind Strike back up, which lets you Earthshake again, over and over and over and over and over again, which is ideally what you want to be doing, but I don't know, we don't seem to be mitigating that much of the damage. Well, no, we do. Here's the Perfected Aegis. There you go. There he is. That's why we're taking so much damage. If you do come to this wave, I'm quite lucky actually, because I didn't notice because I was focusing on what I was saying more than anything else. If you do come to this wave and just instantly wipe, don't feel bad about it. The Perfected Aegis does a lot of damage. He's got like the double health buff. He's got the Prophecies monster buff that reduces hex and condition durations, stuff like that. So they do have pretty much everything. They're really souped up. I think that's the last wave before the last one. Actually, last wave before the last one. The penultimate wave. Okay. We got Dinas. He says, that's them. Talios and his pet physician. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. The Masart leaders. Kill them and victory is assured. I like how they give that last line to Dinas, actually, which is pretty cool. Right, so you get 2 Masart bosses in the last wave. A load of constructs. This is the last wave. Apparently, these are the Masart leaders. We've obviously killed a few Masart leaders before. There's what I talked about before, about Caliph and all those kinds of things at the end of Hell's... not the end of Hell's Prophecies. You kill the last Masart leader at the end of the second to last mission. Which name I always forget. What is it? I always forget it. Abaddon's Mouth. Yeah, the end of Abaddon's Mouth. That's where you kill the last Masart leaders. And indeed, you kind of... Well, no, you don't really. You see one of the leaders, or at least the 3 leaders, as far as I'm concerned, in the bonus mission pack as well when you're playing as Saul. So we have seen these guys before. I don't know. They'll probably just elect a new leader. I'm not sure what happens here. These are pretty much the last 2 Masart you can kill in the game, okay, in the whole story, in all of Guild Wars 1. So get a good look at them. This is the Masart bowing out, essentially. I don't know whether we should believe that there are no other Masart alive except for the one that we met, Lazarus the Dyer, in Eye of the North, or not. I don't know. What's your guys' take on it? In any case, I think it's quite fitting that our team managed to kill every single other construct except these guys. The last one is Ambrilius the Guardian, and he's not got anyone to guard left anymore. You're standing on your own. What are you going to do? Nothing. We're just going to destroy you. So yeah, that's the Battle of Lion's Arch. I can't believe I managed to ramble my whole way through it. Sorry if the commentary was a bit off, but let's be honest here, it was just a long defense mission. There's not really that much you can talk about. Down he goes. Quest updated. Battle for Lion's Arch. See, as I said, if you're fighting in the courtyard, I've never completed it and been fighting in the courtyard. If you're pushed as far back as that, then I'd be really careful. That's always spelled defeat for me. There you go. We've completed all of the objectives. And now all we have to do is report to Princess Salma. But it's not over. This is where it gets interesting again now, guys, because what the War in Kryta does, even though it wasn't the length of a full campaign and arguably didn't have the same amount of depth going into it and resources put into it, they do the same kind of similar sort of end game instance area where you can speak to all of the characters and see the aftermath, which is really cool because we're going to see the birth of a new faction, which I've talked about a little bit in the Dungeon series back when we were doing Human Week. And in fact, I think those blogs were actually coming out just as this was ending as well. It was really fitting. It was really cool. We get to see quite a key change in Krytan history here. The Masat have been pushed out. Salma is finally in charge, and we get to see her make a couple of decisions that have a dramatic impact on the Kryta we see of Guild Wars 2. So let's see what happens.